What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everybody who support the platform. Much love, much love. Salute to everybody that's in the building. Salute to y'all. Salute to y'all. Shout out to all of the visionaries. Shout out to y'all, man. Let me get over here to the chat room and give some shout outs while you guys hit the like button. Hit the like button for me, fam. Hit the like button. Also, hit the share button. Share the show. Share it on your community tab, your Discord servers, anywhere that you share videos. Make sure you share today's show. Make sure you share today's show. This is going to be a part 2 that I had lined up to speak about. I definitely think this is important for us brothers to know, because a lot of times, we get caught up in this whole thing of us loving to be distracted by things. And today we're going to speak on that today. We're going to speak on that because while everyone is sitting at home distracted and sedated with what the things that they quote unquote like sports, like holidays and things like that, which is nothing wrong with, but today we're gonna go a little bit deeper on things, man. We're gonna look at things from a different perspective as men. And I'm definitely gonna bring you guys this article about Adrian Peterson. When I first read this article, I'm like, man, I have to bring this to the brothers, because a lot of times we get caught up with the things of leisure. And a lot of times when we get caught up in leisure time, we lack discipline. And when I say we lack discipline, is sometimes we lose track of where we supposed to be and what we supposed to be doing, because we so caught up in just chilling. And this is when a lot of times they sneak things in. They sneak little things in that we never see. But I caught y'all on this one, and we're going to talk about it today. So shout out to you guys. Like I said, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the show. Shout out to Miss Angie. Shout out to you, Miss Angie B. Always coming through and holding down the chat. I appreciate you, Miss Angie. Shout out to my man, Sir O. Salute to the villains. Shout out to the villains fit. Shout out to Miss Garnetta Brown. Salute to Shango Zulu in the building. Salute to my brother, Partly Cloudy. Salute, fam. It's been a minute. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to Just Ask Shaw. Appreciate you. Thank God it is Friday. Shout out to my brother, Po Boy Films in the building. Salute, fam. Hope all is great with you as well, man. Shout out to Miss Letitia in the building. Much love to you, sweetheart. Appreciate you. Shout out to my man, Matt. Shout out to Matt McKee in the building. Salute, fam. Appreciate your support. And shout out to everybody that's listening. Shout out to everybody that's listening. Shout out to y'all. And before we start today's show, give me 1 second. Let me grab something and I'll be right back. Okay. We are back. Shout out to y'all once again. Make sure y'all get up in here, hit the like button, and share today's show. Shout out to Coda. Shout out to you, Coda. And the reason why I decided to do today's show, which is called This Is What Happens to Men on Valentine's Day, Part 2. Make sure y'all go and check out Part 1. Part 1 will also be down in the description box. I'm going to put Part 1 down in the description box. So make sure y'all go and check that out. But I wanted to talk about this, and it's very important that we talk about this because a lot of us, we get caught up in the mundane way of living. Shout out to you, Mark. He said, thanks for all your work. It's highly appreciated because I'm learning from you every time I listen. Much respect. Much respect to you too, Mark. And I appreciate your support. I appreciate your support, man. A lot of us get caught up in the mundane way of living. And that mundane way of living for men is living an external existence. When your life is predicated on what you do in the world, what school you went to, all of those things. When your life is just predicated on those things, your life is very mundane. And I need for brothers to understand this. Understand this. See, what a lot of us, brothers of color, what we don't understand is we've been deprived of so much because of this racist system that we all know is racist. We're not gonna play semantics here, and we're not gonna act slow. Everyone knows this. It's across the board. It's 2022. Everyone knows that this racist system is directly against keeping down black men in particular. That's not a secret. So a lot of us look at things that other guys have as something of a luxury when it's really just the things that we supposed to have. Like as men, we're supposed to have a family house. We supposed to have investment properties. We supposed to have nice vehicles and things like that. That's the American way. That is how the majority of people of a certain stature live, and that's normal. Having a nice car, having a nice house, having a nice job, having money in a bank, having investments, that's normal. That's not nothing extravagant, brothers. I need y'all to understand this because we, as a group of men, we have a lot of catching up to do. We have generations to catch up. Generations. We have generations to catch up. So with us being deprived of so much due to redlining, due to a bunch of zoning and things like that, we look at what every other man look at as normal as extravagant. Having nice clothes, wearing new clothes, having fresh suits, having colognes and things. That's normal for other men. But being that our group of men have been deprived for so long, we look at it as a luxury. And when a certain percentage of us are able to do those things, we start to look at life like if you don't live this kind of way, you're some type of peon or something. You see? And the reason why I'm prefacing this, because this is how men are lulled to sleep. This is how we're lulled to sleep. Because we get so comfortable with the things that we call luxury when it's really normal things, right? Nice cars, nice furniture in your house. That's normal. We all should be able to do that. But we all know as men, we all don't. You see? So when men are able to do this, especially our group of men of color, we get so laxed that we begin to ignore things. We get so caught up in this shit that we stop looking at what we need to look at. And this is when things begin to affect us. And they begin to affect us in a major way because we don't see it, so we cannot detect it. And being that we can't detect it, it hurts us, and then it continuously hurts us. And we don't see it. And by the time we see it, we are 2, 3, 4, 5 generations in of suffering from not realizing where we are or what we're doing wrong. You see? And I brought this up specifically because a lot of us men, we get caught up in sports. Now listen, I'm not judging nobody who watch sports. I'm not doing none of that. I want us to begin to look at things in a different way. It's not about somebody judging you. Because when I'm ready to watch the football game, I'm going to watch it too. Okay? So I'm not here to say, oh man, we need to be bigger than sports. And no, I'm not sitting here with that type of preaching. I'm not doing that. Because that's just unrealistic. But what I do want brothers to do is begin to think beyond the mundane living situation. I want you to think past you getting off work, kicking your boots off, having you a beer after you have dinner, and sit on the couch with your hands in your balls and watch TV and watch Sports Center and shit like that. I want us to begin to think beyond that. A lot of us don't think beyond that because we don't see ourselves beyond that. Because a lot of us think that that's actually a luxury way of living. You see? And that's cool if that's what you think. But of course, here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV, we challenge each other as men. Y'all challenge me and I challenge y'all to think, to think, to think outside of the norm, mundane living. So I'm going to bring you guys an article, and shout out to you guys in the chat. Like I said, make sure you like and share today's show. Shout out to you, Miss Queena. I see you in the building, coming through and holding it down. Much love to you. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to bring you guys this article. And this was crazy when I saw it. Because I'm like, wow, they get us like this every time. They do this every time to us. While we sitting back, you know, watching the Super Bowl. Look at what they doing to us. While we sitting back watching the Super Bowl, look at what they doing to us. And you notice Valentine's Day was right after the Super Bowl. So they had 2 holidays back to back. See how they keep us asleep? You see how they do it? Right after the Super Bowl, they give you Valentine's Day. Why you think they did that? So whatever they want to slide in, they can. Because we so busy rushing out to get flowers and teddy bears and cars and whatever you gifting your Valentine with. And meanwhile, there's some black man getting done dirty that we don't see. Is some black man somewhere getting done dirty while we sitting around thinking we having fun and enjoying ourselves. Now let's get to this article. Adrian Peterson addresses domestic violence arrest. I don't hit women. Now, how many times we've heard this in this space? I don't hit women. Why in 2022 do you have men that have to scream this at the top of their goddamn lungs? Why? Why? Because of the great presence of feminism. And this shit is becoming so bad that now you have men screaming out, I don't hit women. Screaming this out. I don't hit women. I don't hit women. I don't hit women. Now we know with the strong presence of feminism and how it's been on a rise for years, we all know as men, they don't play with domestic violence. And domestic violence doesn't have to be that you hit your woman. Raising your voice is domestic violence. Cursing is domestic violence. How do I know this? I've had domestic disputes. I know. And I'm not ashamed to say it. Not ashamed to say it. So I know the particulars of what they like to call domestic violence. That shit is very, very, it's a thin line. Because the way they characterize things is almost like you're suppressed. Because if you try to defend yourself in any way, that will be considered domestic violence for men. And I'm not saying that this don't go for women, but it is enforced differently on men. You see, if I pick up the phone and call the cops on my wife, which I won't, which I know most men won't, but just as an example, say if I do this, the only way the police is going to come here and really try to do something and show up and actually try to fix a situation is if I call them and tell them that my wife put her hands on me, that she hit me, or she hit me with something. Now, the difference with that is all my wife got to do is pick up the phone and they hear me in the background raising my goddamn voice, and they come in 2, 3, 4, 5 cars deep, ready to kill me. So let's get back to the article, because I wanted to give y'all I wanted to preface this because it's easy for men to be considered domestic abusers. It's very easy. Very easy. I don't hit women. Now, mind you, this is in Los Angeles, California. This is in Los Angeles, California. Where was the Super Bowl? Where did the Super Bowl just happen? This is why I included the Super Bowl. Didn't the Super Bowl just happen in LA? The Los Angeles Rams, correct? So while we all sitting back, yeah, there's a black man getting done dirty and drugged through the goddamn mud. While we sitting back, drinking our Budweisers and Bud Lights, we forgetting that there's a fellow man out there on the goddamn chopping block. This is why I say, brothers, men, we have to get out of the mundane way of thinking, that external way of life. You look at your life as an external existence that blinds you of what's going on around you, that blinds you from the spiritual attacks that are waged upon you because you worried about going to work the next day. That's all you worried about. So you caught up in the mundane way of life, so you don't understand how the evil forces of this world is looking to destroy you because you're a man. In particular, a black man. Black man, get him a good job, get him a good career, get him a nice house, get him a nice wife, give him a couple of kids. He forget about all the shit that's going on in this world. He forget about the things that are waged against him and will be waged against his children. See, we forget that stuff, brothers, and we can't. We can't. So while we all sitting back trying to see who's gonna win the Super Bowl, they doing this man dirty. And they doing him dirty in the airport. In the airport. In the airport. Let's read this article, man. Adrian Peterson insists he did nothing wrong a day after he was arrested on a felony domestic violence charge. A felony domestic violence charge. Sound like Ray Rice. Sounds like Ray Rice, doesn't it? Let's continue. The 36-year-old NFL running back. Now, while the NFL is having the goddamn Super Bowl, a fellow NFL player is getting drugged through the mud. And everyone's just sitting back with their goddamn backs turned. Now, you notice, right? If you notice, this shit came out after. It hit tabloids after. Notice that. This came out on Valentine's Day, the 14th. Let me show you. Let me scroll up a little bit. See, 4 days ago. Today's the 18th. Valentine's Day was 4 days ago. But this shit was happening the day of the Super Bowl. Why wasn't they reporting this the day of the Super Bowl? You see how wicked these people are? You see how they play? You see how they play, brothers? This is wickedness at its finest. While we all sitting back, eating hot wings and shit, watching the Super Bowl, this man is a few miles down the road at the airport getting drugged. They hit this man with a felony domestic charge. For guess what? Just watch, just listen. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button and share the show. The 36-year-old NFL running back who was removed from a flight and arrested at Los Angeles International Airport on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, after a dispute with his wife. They took this man off the plane because he had an argument with his wife and gave him a felony domestic violence charge. This is on Super Bowl Sunday. You see how they keep us asleep? You see how they keep us asleep? You see? You see what they do? I was literally mind blown that they took me to jail. Peterson said, they were like, I'm sorry, Mr. Peterson, but because she had a scratch on her finger. This woman had a goddamn scratch on her finger. That was probably self-inflicted. A scratch on her finger got him a felony domestic violence charge. You see why I say we our own agency, fellas? You see why I say us being our own agency is important, man? But we sitting back all enthralled into the game, drunk, laid up on the couch. The Rams better win. And it's men out here getting drugged through the goddamn mud. This man was sent to jail after the police discovered a scratch on his wife's finger. And that shit probably didn't have to come from the altercation. And it wasn't an altercation, it was an argument. So because him and his wife got into a dispute, 9 times out of 10, it was an argument. And the police asked her, was she okay? And 9 times out of 10, she said yes. And then they discovered the little scratch on her finger. This man was arrested. This man was sent to jail. This is a problem. Hey, what's up, Toya? What's up, Mace? Salute. A scratch on her finger got him a felony domestic charge. This is crazy. Hasim, salute. This is out of control. See how they always keep us asleep though, man? I was literally mind blown that they took me to jail, Peterson said. They were like, I'm sorry, Mr. Peterson, but because she had a scratch on her finger in the state of California, we have to take you in. Oh, man. I hope one of my Cali ladies come in the chat room and please tell me or anybody in the chat if y'all know. My man Po Boy Films is in the building. Salute, fam. Let me know, bro. In the state of California, is that how it works? She had a scratch on her finger that she probably got on her own that just probably healed up. They didn't say she was bleeding. They said it was a scratch. That scratch could have been there. And this man got a felony domestic violence charge. And the cop said, well, this is the law in Los Angeles. Please, if somebody's from the West Coast, Cali or wherever, please tell me if that's really how it works. Because a lot of times we're not too abreast of the law. Black men, we're not really abreast of the law. And a lot of us are afraid of the police because we were traumatized by the police because how the police pillage our neighborhoods. I still got PTSD when I see the cops. And I've been living in North Carolina for years now. But I've been getting ran up on, searched, harassed, and abused by police since I was a teenager. So when police pull up I still feel a little uneasy. Like I gotta calm down. Because I don't like them touching me. I don't like them near me because they're very abusive. Like I'm a big guy. So police is used to trying to get off, try to get one off on me. Yeah, don't move, big guy, and want to get extra strong and try to hem me up. And I don't like that. And I've been in altercations with police. Like literally. I've been in altercations with police. So I'm still kind of uneasy. My brother Po Boy Film said, I'm in Cali. I'm Cali. They say someone has to go to jail on a DV call. Most of the time, it's the man. But sometimes, if the man is battered, she'll go to jail. I've been in both situations. Me too. Okay. So, basically, because someone notified the police that they was arguing on a plane, he had to go to jail first. Because it was evident that nothing happened to him. That's crazy. But how could they prove if that scratch came from her? I mean, from him, from her husband. How could they prove that? Shout out to my brother, Mr. Sutton. Isaiah Rhodey says, was it a felony because it was on federal property? Maybe. That's a good point. Isaiah Rhodey, that might be it. Probably. Because it happened on a plane. He said, bro, my ex was arrested on DV charges. I took the kid, Section 8 in her name. Because we were in a shelter, the judge gave her the kids back plus alimony and child support. This is crazy, man. Do you see? Do you see the agency that this woman was awarded, and she's the goddamn batterer? She assaulted this man. She assaulted this man. The goddamn system gave her the kids back because the Section 8 was in her name, gave her the kids back, made him pay alimony and child support. What the? This is what we're talking about. You see? And this is what we got to get back to here. We have to get back into helping men, providing agency for men. This is crazy. Mac 360 says Cali is one of those low-level liberal states. Proceed with caution out there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to Mac 360. Yes, sir. Cali is the worst. Don't get me started. God damn. So they worse than New York. They're worse than New York, huh? It seemed like Cali and New York is like neck and neck, especially when it come to that. But it sounds like Cali is a little more, like they're a little more, like they, man. My brother Po Boy Film said, it's her word against his. And if one person talks, but the other doesn't, it's hands down. It's all about money most times. Well, makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense, bro. And they usually know that on paper, women are head of household. So it's whatever she say. But in this case, bro, it's a little different. She's with an NFL player. She ain't her husband's an NFL player. But this is to show us brothers who are on a lower scale, who don't make six figures, who are not millionaires. We all suffer the same fate. We all suffer the same fate. It don't matter where you work at. It don't matter who you know. None of that shit matters yet. Who you could call and who you went to school with. Nope. Nope. They can't save you from shit like this. They can't. Because we need some of these laws changed. We need some of this shit changed. My brother Po Boy Film says, DS1, bro, you've helped me tremendously through a lot of trauma, fam. Salute. Salute, my brother. We our own agency, bro. We our own agency, my brother. I love all you brothers, man. Appreciate you, man. Hey, what's up, Shaw? Let's get back to the article. Make sure y'all like and share today's show too, fam. Like and share the show. I was literally mind blown that they took me to jail, Peterson said. They were like, I'm sorry, Mr. Peterson, but because she had a scratch on her finger in the state of California, we have to take you in. I sit there and watch the plane pull back and take off, and I'm just like, wow. I cannot believe this is happening right now. I'm going through L, and I literally didn't do nothing. He literally didn't do nothing. And he's going through hell. It's blown out of proportion. Isn't that what they did with the Ray Rice case? They tried to make Ray Rice look crazy until Ray Rice's wife told what really happened and what really goes on and how they victimized her husband because she likes to put her hands on men. She said this. She wasn't innocent in the situation. She said it. Y'all trying to paint my husband out to be an animal. No, I put my hands on him. Now look at this situation here. Shout out to my brother, the Book of Ronan, in the building. It's blown out of proportion, he says. Me and my wife got into an argument on a plane. What a goddamn argument. So the scratch didn't even come from nothing. Watch this. Watch how they try to make it come from something. That was pretty much the gist of it. Me and my wife got into an argument on a plane. I ended up grabbing her hand and taking her ring off her finger. She didn't press any charges. So in the midst of her grabbing her hand, as just like what happened with Ray Rice, remember on camera, y'all saw him and his wife arguing. She drunk. He's pulling her, telling her to come on. Come on. He grabbing her hand, pulling her, telling her come on. So that's what probably happened in this situation. And in the midst of him grabbing her hand, her ring came off, and she probably had, the ring scratched up against her skin. So he was too aggressive in the situation. This is what this is what this shit has turned into. How men have to be managed. Well, maybe he was a little too aggressive, DS1. No, he wasn't. He grabbed his wife's hand like he always goddamn do. Don't try to make him no goddamn excuse on why he should have caught a felony domestic violence charge because he grabbed his wife's hand and told her to come on. Y'all not gonna gaslight me. No. So if you get in the comment section with that, I'm telling you now, your comment ain't gonna make the board. I'm gonna delete that goofy shit. Because I will not be gaslit in this situation. Because this is cap. This is cap. This is cap. Just like we found out they use Ray Rice for fucking media publicity to make a whole bunch of money. Shout out to you, Miss Zahara. Shango Zulu, salute, fam. It's blown out of proportion, he continued. Me and the wife got into an argument on a plane. That was pretty much the gist of it. I ended up grabbing her hand and taking her ring off her finger. She didn't press any charges. The state of California pressed charges because there was a scratch on her hand. Literally, that's why I went to jail, because the ring, like I said, left a scratch on her finger. He went to jail because of this. And not only did he go to jail, but now his appearance has been devalued. This is why I say these are spiritual attacks. Because your appearance value is an internal value. So what the media does is they paint men out to be monsters and to make us feel like our masculinity and manhood is toxic and evil. So I can't get into a dispute with my wife, because if another woman don't like how I say something to my wife, I can go to jail because I'm toxic. I'm hurting this woman. This woman is being abused. This is what's going on, fellas. And it's been going on for way too goddamn long. It's going because, listen, the stats are already out. You can go and look it up. When it comes to abuse in relationships, the percentages is neck and neck with men and women. So That feminist bullshit talking point is moot now. Because the stats already show women are just as abusive in relationships as men. You don't know how to keep your hands to your goddamn self either. You don't know what to say out your goddamn mouth either. So we ain't gonna sit here and play this game of, well, he was too aggressive with his wife. We're not gonna do that. His wife didn't press any charges. The state of California did. Because they want some money from this man. That's all. That's all. And they want to destroy his reputation. See, beyond the money, they put shit like this out in the media to destroy our reputation, to try to damage and put smut on our character. That is a spiritual attack. That's spiritual warfare. When someone's trying to paint you out to be something you're not. And they're putting this out to the world. They're putting this out to the world. This is why we have to still speak on situations like this, men. Not about Brittany Renner. Not about Fresh and Flaccid. They are distractions, just like the goddamn Super Bowl and Valentine's Day was a distraction for us to not see what the hell is going on. See, because we missed this. We missed this. They slid this shit in because they know we wouldn't see it. They put it out on Valentine's Day. We too busy, sitting back, buying flowers, making love. This man getting drugged through the goddamn mud. He in jail. He's in jail on Valentine's Day. He in jail. He's in jail. You see how wicked these people are? See how wicked they are? Charles Ramsey, salute. Exactly. Emotional terrorism on steroids. That's a fact. Yes, Toya. Yes. Pay attention. You pay attention, y'all. DS1 said moot, as in having little to no relevance, not to be confused with mute. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. I love to have a residential tutor and teacher. I love it. Thank you, Miss Toya. Thank you. Let's get back to the article. I like that. We just had a disagreement. We just had a disagreement. We can't have disagreements no more. And I know some of y'all gonna say, well, why y'all gotta have a disagreement in public? Excuse me, ma'am. It's called life. It's called life, ma'am. It's called human emotion. You see? And it's not always the man who flies off the handle. Let's stop. But of course, I can't say let's stop playing victim here because y'all have found a way to weaponize y'all victimhood. I get it. And I also understand that a lot of women for a long time was being abused. And it was going swept under the rug. I understand that too. But you're not going to walk around and paint every goddamn man who asserts himself as being aggressive and toxic. You're not going to do that, ma'am. You're not going to do that because that's slander. Just like you don't want us to label you a thought because you like to twerk to Nicki Minaj. You don't twerk in public though, but you like to twerk. You know, when you're having your little drinks and your homegirls is over and y'all like to shake, 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 shake that ass, right? Just like you don't want us to categorize you or label you. We don't want to be labeled domestic abusers and toxic men because of a goddamn disagreement. And because I'm a certain height and a certain weight and I'm a certain build, that when I speak, all of a sudden, I needs to be tamed. I need to be tamed. We're not settling for that. This is why I say, brothers, we're our own agency. We are our own agency because this shows that they have agency, brothers. This is why I said a long time ago, let's stop talking about women. There's nothing else to goddamn talk about. All we can do is talk about them from a sexual standpoint. They got everything else. What is there to talk about? While we sitting back to worrying about OnlyFans and worrying about what this thought did to Tommy Sotomayor, because we still talking about it. Look at what's going on. Look at what's going on to men with men. Even with the Tommy situation. I don't agree with that woman putting her hands on him. I said that yesterday. I said that shit yesterday. That shit wasn't cool. Flying off at the handle like that. But he did a lot of things that caused that situation. He ignited the situation. Should she have kept her hands to herself? Yes. Yes, because you have to be mature. You're still grown. I don't care what a person's saying to you. You're still supposed to be mature enough and have enough emotional intelligence to keep your goddamn hands to yourself. You see? You see? And as you can see, just to go on a little bit with the Tommy situation, as you can see, Fresh and Fit providing him some agency. And I don't agree with the situation, but I know how to look at a situation in its proper light. They let Tommy get back up there and tell his story. That helps Tommy. That helps him. Which is a form of agency. Because she was allowed to go on shows and do all of that. So that's one thing I could say I could salute Fresh and Flimsy on. The fact that they did let him get up there and speak. They didn't let him just go on rants on Instagram and Twitter and all of that. No, they let him come back to the platform and speak in front of those millions of viewers that they have. I gotta give credit where credit is due. I just have to. I just have to. Yes, sir. De-escalation of force and conflict resolution is key. That's a fact. But me and you both know, big bro, that only happens through emotional intelligence. We all know that. So let's get back to the article. We just had a disagreement. I know the headlines, domestic violence. You think I beat her up or something. It was nothing like that. You see? You see? It was nothing like that. They're calling this domestic violence because domestic violence it encompasses a lot of things. This is why I set it up the way that I did, where I gave y'all my situations. It's not always you have to put your hands on somebody. You see? Cursing is domestic violence. Cursing at your woman is considered domestic violence. Calling her out her name, that's domestic violence. Screaming at her, being forthcoming toward her, like doing this, doing that to your woman, that's domestic violence. That is considered domestic violence. It's just that in some states, they stress it more. They enforce that shit more. And why wouldn't they do it in a liberal state, a low liberal state? It makes sense. Because it's like whatever she say, we going with it. That's just what it is. Y'all give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, we back. We back. Salute. Salute to the all-star advisor. Salute, brother. Let's get back to the article. It says, we had a disagreement. I know the headline's domestic violence. You think I beat her up or something. It was nothing like that. Because, Adrian, you got to understand, my brother, domestic violence is not you just hitting her. There's more encompassed in that. Peterson added that the passenger behind them brought more attention to their argument and made it more than what it was, which ultimately led to his arrest. You see that? You see that? Do you see what's going on, brothers? Now your masculinity can be checked. You can be checked. If somebody don't like what you saying to your woman, they think they can check you. This is what's going on in society amongst men. 9 times out of 10, that was either a slewfoot maggle. That was probably some slewfoot maggle or some copy room Jonathan, right? Who thought because he trying to help the woman, he trying to help her when she ain't in trouble. She just getting into a little argument with her husband. This is her husband. Do y'all see this? So the passenger behind them is the one who basically notified the authorities. Or basically put the situation on what we like to call blast. Because the person behind them, the passenger behind them, probably started raising their voice. Why you talking to her like that? Why you grabbing her hand like that? Now the flight attendant is like, excuse me, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This man, he's abusing his wife. I don't know why this man just grabbed this woman's hand like that. Miss, are you in danger here? I'm going to notify the authorities. It's part of my job. I need to make sure everything's okay. This and that's just me giving a reenactment. But this is the type of shit that's going on. That stuff happened to me. And that's true, my brother. He said police in Cali be like, big old guy like you can't handle her. police is assholes like that. The police is assholes like that. Because when it happened to me, because of course, now, let's just be real, guys, to my big guys. And when I say big guys, I'm not just talking about weight. I'm talking about height. I'm also talking about muscle mass. You're still considered a big guy. Look at Adrian Peterson. Look at this guy. This guy, they consider Adrian Peterson a freak of nature. Look at his body. He's not a big fat dude. He's not a big handsome man such as myself. He's not a big handsome man, but he's still considered a big guy because he has muscle mass. He has a build on him. And little old women, them little mean little women love big men. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong in the chat room, ladies. But y'all little old feisty women love these big old guys. Y'all love big old men. Y'all love them. Y'all love a big old man. A man with mass, with a build, with shoulders and arms and a chest. Y'all like big old men. And when y'all get mad because he's big and he's muscular, you're going to start throwing your little punches because they don't hurt him. Right? Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Leave me alone. Don't bother me. Stop. Stop teasing me. That's y'all. Do y'all want to come back and rub us and, oh, I'm sorry. You know I love you. That's what y'all do. I know. I went through it. For the most part, I only been with little women in my life. Short women. Short women. I had one tall woman before, and she was still shorter than me. She was like 5'11". Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, facts. Absolutely. You see? Right, quadrupolar antics. Come on. Toya says, she says, I'm 5'8", and I don't hit because I'm big enough to get hit back, and I know that. Fighting isn't playing. Thank you. Thank you. And no, you're not big enough to get hit back. You're not. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it, Toya. Letitia says, no, I just like them tall. I don't care if you're big or small, just as long as you're tall. See? 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 And Adrian Peterson is not just a muscular dude. He has height on him. He's not no little guy. He's not no little guy. So any woman dealing with him, salute to my brother Partly Cloudy. So any woman dealing with him, when they get in their feelings, they're gonna swing. They're going to grab him. They're gonna come on. Us guys, we know this. Y'all little short women are very feisty. Y'all are feisty, man. And y'all don't like talking too much. When y'all keep talking for too long, y'all gonna swing. That's what y'all do. Y'all going for something. So he says, we just had a disagreement. I know the headline's domestic violence. You'll think I beat her up or something. Peterson added that the passenger behind them brought more attention to their argument and made it more than what it was, which ultimately led to his arrest. Only thing I will say is it looks horrible because Adrian Peterson arrested on domestic violence. He said, I don't hit women. It's not that type of situation, and it just looks bad. It looks bad. It looks bad. That's appearance value. It puts a stain on his reputation. Now, when he shows up in business seminars, in meetings, and things like that, women are going to be looking at him in a certain light, which is not good for him personally, and it's not good for him business-wise. So it's not good for him internally or externally. You see? Because your appearance value is how you are seen to the world. So that's on a personal level, how they see you as a man, the type of man that you are, and how they see you in the business world, how you conduct business. So with him having that stain, women are not going to want to do business with him because they're going to say he abused women. He don't respect women. That's going to mess up money for him. That's going to mess up money for him. And then it's going to, it puts a stain on his reputation because it makes him, it destroys him internally. Now he has to deal with getting over this. You see? Now it makes him feel bad about himself as a man. It puts him it can put him in a depressive state because he doesn't hit women. This is what happened to Chris Brown. This is what happened to Ray Rice. You see? Now he has to deal with that because his wife knows he doesn't hit women, but the world thinks he hits women. Adrian Peterson is a public figure. So guess what, baby girl? You could tell your husband you sorry 1,000,000 times. That's not going to remove this stain. And to all you women out here who are wives, who really stand behind your husbands, who got black husbands. But this goes across the board. But I'm talking specifically to you black women. If you truly love your husband and you love your sons, you have to fight back against feminism along with us. How do you do this? You make sure you never become a gynocrat. If you're a black woman, you have to fight back against this shit with us because your husband is the target. You didn't press any charges, but he still went to jail. You see? But he still went to jail. This is going to happen to your sons. Because if y'all have sons, they're going to act like their dad. And I'm pretty sure that y'all sons are going to grow up and not hit women just like their dad. But that don't mean that they won't be found guilty for something they didn't do. And then their reputation be destroyed because of it. Or just imagine your son's going to school and got to deal with that. Oh, I saw your dad in the papers. He got arrested on Super Bowl Sunday. Does he beat your mom? Do you see how detrimental this stuff could be, brothers? Do you see how this stuff can destroy your family, ladies? Do you see? All y'all did was have a little disagreement. Now your husband's in jail. His reputation has been compromised. You see? Now your children, if y'all have children and they're in school, they're going to have to deal with the blowback because people in school know that he's the son or the daughter of Adrian Peterson, a famous NFL football player who will be in the Hall of Fame. Do you see what this does? This is the shit that's going on Valentine's Day while we sitting up looking like this. We sitting up here looking like this and shit. We sitting up here looking like this. We sitting up here looking like this. And we got our fellow men going through shit like this, man. While you guys living the mundane life, I'm getting ready, baby. I'm ready. I'm ready, baby. Whoo, come get it. We sitting here doing this. This man going through hell. This man going through hell, man. Only thing I will say is that it looks horrible because Adrian Peterson, arrested for domestic violence, he said, I don't hit women. It's not that type of situation. And it just looks bad. I deal with it and God willing, get the charges dropped and moved on. God willing. God willing. See where we get our agency and our strength from, brothers. Peterson has found himself in a similar situation before. Back in 2014, he was charged with misdemeanor reckless assault and avoided jail time after he disciplined his 4-year-old son with a switch. Do y'all see this shit? Y'all really think he beat his son with a switch? You see this? Do y'all see this? This is what the mainstream media does to men. I want to go mainstream. 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 Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Your ass can't take a shit right without them knowing. Since you want to go mainstream, you want to be commercial. You want to be known worldwide. Don't you know you might be being recorded when you're going in a restaurant bathroom to take a piss? Since you want to be famous, this need to go mainstream. We need to go mainstream. We need to get the word out to the world. This is what mainstream does to men. Because they don't accept men. Because the mainstream is about plastic males. You got to be plastic and flaccid. And moldable. You got to be moldable. You got to be like clay. Can't be a goddamn rock. You can't be an anchor. You gotta be like clay. They look how they slandered this man. He beat his 4-year-old son with a switch. That's a lie. They know that's a lie. They know it's a lie. But you know why they put it in the article? To substantiate why he got arrested. And why they're going to continue to slander this man's image. You see this shit? This is called spiritual warfare. Go and check out This Is Why Men Are the Casualties of Spiritual Warfare series. Go to my playlist section and check that out because I spoke on the media and how they play a role in this warfare. And see, today, all of our lives, not all of us, but for the most part, the majority of our lives is ran through the media. What we see and what they tell us to see, what they tell us to accept. Peterson, a future Hall of Famer, spent last season with the Tennessee Titans and Seattle Seahawks, appearing in a total of 4 games. His career has spanned 17 seasons and has included stints with the Minnesota Vikings, Washington Commanders, Arizona Cardinals, Detroit Lions, and New Orleans Saints. The man played 4 games. 4 games. 4 games this man played on the past 2 teams he'd been in. Why do you think he only played 4 games? Because of his appearance. His appearance. You got to understand, the NFL is a corporation. You see? So they don't want certain players, especially, to be highlighted. See, in the NFL, running backs are loved. They're highlighted. Those organizations didn't feel comfortable with Adrian Peterson playing and getting highlights and making Sports Center and them bringing up this domestic violence stuff. You see? And then you see how they hurt us. Now you don't even get to play like that. So we ain't even got to pay you like that. You bad for business. You see that? See how they do you? Now you're bad for business. We don't want to deal with you because you too much of a problem. You too much of a headache. See that? And that's how they start breaking us down. Breaking us down spiritually. And then guess what happens? You have to then take your money to protect your appearance. Now you got to go pay for lawyers. Now you got to go spend whatever $100,000 to $1 million. And over time, they keep hitting you with this shit till you go broke and destitute. This is what they do to men, especially us men of color. In the NFL, in the NBA, in the music business, in the entertainment industry. All of this shit is entertainment. It's called sports and entertainment. Understand this. It is sports and entertainment. And in the entertainment world, it's all about your image. When people see you, what is the first thing that comes to their mind? And the first thing these NFL owners, these team owners rather, are looking at, they're saying, well, if he come out on the field and the audience start calling him an abuser, and or let's just say he the player of the game, he has a great season, they're going to constantly bring up what he done wrong or what was perceived that he done wrong. And a lot of these teams, they don't want to deal with that type of press. This is why he started getting moved around. This is warfare, fellas. They're going to keep trying to break Adrian Peterson down till he spend all his money and go bankrupt. And this is what happens to men in 2022 on Valentine's Day. This is what happens. This is what we didn't see going on. That's why I say sheep stay asleep, man. And if you are a man and all your life is focused on the mundane way of living, you are a sheep. You are a sheep. If you don't understand that you're dealing with spiritual warfare, you are a sheep. You are. I don't care what you say. I don't care where you work. I don't care how much money you got. You a sheep. Because all of that is mundane. Your job, your kids, the picket fence, the 2-car garage, the nice watch. That's mundane. That is the mundane way of living in America. That is not nothing spectacular. That is mundane. You see? And this is how they're able to wage the spiritual war on us, men. Because they got us looking outside of ourselves and not the inside. Because as below, as above, so below. As a man thinketh, he's so. As above, so below. As within, so without. This is why they attack us internally. They attack us spiritually by attacking our what? Health, attacking our families, attacking our appearance, and attacking our homes, our dwelling where we dwell. You see, because by this happening to Adrian Peterson, it affects his dwelling. Because now he's going to have to explain to his children why he was in jail. That affects his dwelling. Because his appearance is affected. This can then over time become a health problem. Like it's becoming with Chris Brown. This can become a mental health issue. You see? Which then will break down his family because then he's not able to properly lead because of his health. All due to spiritual attacks. Because when a man is attacked internally, that's where your spirit lies. Your spirit ain't outside your body, boy. No different than Ocho Cinco. Yeah, they attacked Ocho Cinco too. Sure did. They sure did. That what's homegirl name? I forgot her name. She destroyed Chad Ocho Cinco. Evelyn Lozada. They used a demon, a Jezebel. Mm-hmm. Yep. To destroy him. And if he didn't get away from the NFL, probably would have destroyed him even further. Probably would have ended up killing himself. That's the only way that got him away from them type of women. He had to get away from the NFL. Spiritual warfare, fellas. And they use the holidays to wage spiritual warfare. That's the time. Because we sitting back, trying to be serenade Sean. Look, he trying to serenade. He trying to serenade. And I ain't saying nothing wrong with that. If that's your style, that's your style. I just think it's funny. I just make fun of it. But if that's your style, homie. I ain't knocking your style. If that's how you get out, that's how you get out, I'm just not taking no picture like that on Valentine's Day for my woman. I don't care. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that. But what I'm saying is they get us caught up in this kind of spirit. They get us caught up in this kind of spirit to then do wicked things to other men that we don't see. You see? They use the holidays for this. While there's men at home on Christmas with their families, there's men in prison. There's men being arrested and taken away from their families. But a lot of us men, we don't think about that because we caught up in that mundane way of living, which is the external life, which is a man who only worries about mobility, education, profession, leisure, and wealth. And that is your average man today. That's all he thinks about. And this is why he cannot be of service to his fellow brother, because you're too mundane. You'll never know what your fellow brother need because y'all don't vibe on that level, because you're mundane. You live an external existence. You view yourself from an external existence. So that's how you're going to view your brother. So you'll never know how to help him. You'll never know, because you'll never know how to relate. And brothers, we got to understand that we are our own agency. Understand that. So shout out to everyone who came through to today's show. Pardon me for starting a little late today, but I appreciate all the love and the support. Make sure y'all go and check out part 1 after this is downloaded. It will be in the description box. Y'all can check out part 1 to this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to my brother Po Boy Films for coming through. Letitia, Marcus, Partly Cloudy, my brother the Book of Ronan. Shout out to Miss Angie. Shout out to Priest. Shout out to Shar. Shout out to Isaiah. Shout out to Toya. Shout out to everyone who came through, man. I appreciate all the love and the support. Shout out to my brother Papa Flocka for listening in, always showing support. If you enjoyed today's show, don't hesitate to donate to today's show. You can do that by simply hitting the super chat, or you can hit me up on the Cash App $SheepStaySleepTV, Cash App $SheepStaySleepTV, man. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Sutton. Yes, sir. That's yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Sutton, man. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Salute to Shango Zulu. Make sure y'all like and share today's show. Make sure y'all like and share today's show. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I drop some new content right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Salute to all you visionaries once again, and I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.